Ganesh, a divine name, a name we all chant before we commence any Shubh Karya, any good and auspicious task. Ganesh, a supreme god, a Devta, to whom Mahadev Shiv and Shri Ram too have prayed to from time to time. But who is Ganesh? This question, dear friends, is pertinent because even when Mahadev Shiv and Mata Parvati were getting married, a Ganesh Puja was conducted. But then again, don't we all know Ganesh as the son of Mahadev Shiv and Devi Parvati? Then if both these facts are true, who exactly is Ganesh? Well, to find out the answer to this very interesting question, let's learn a few more unknown, largely unheard facts while we hear this extraordinary and divine story about Gananayak, Vinayak, Ganadhish, Vighnaharta, our very own Ganesh.
Adisi, where stories begin.
Kumar Kartikeya had just put an end to the tyranny, the oppression and torture of a very powerful and menacing Daitya called Tadkasur. The relief, joy and happiness that every being experienced was palpable. Devtas, Rishis, Munis, ordinary human beings, along with all other creatures, sang songs of praise and thanked the son of Mahadev and Devi Parvati. Thanked Shadanand, meaning the one with 6 heads. Thanked Kumar Kartikeya. After having accomplished victory in the battle against Tadkasur, Kumar Kartikeya, along with Brahmadev and several other Devtas, arrived at Kailash. On meeting his father Mahadev and his mother Adishakti, Devi Parvati, Kumar Kartikeya humbly bowed down to touch his parents' feet, seeking their blessings. Pleased with their son's victory and content in the knowledge that his karma, his actions, will serve the greater good and bring joy and peace to people all over the world, Bholenath and Parashakti Parvati were extremely delighted and proud of their son. Mata Parvati, out of sheer happiness, gave a tight hug to Kumar Kartikeya, while Bholenath, a proud father, had him sit next to him and lovingly pat his back, affectionately stroking his head repeatedly while showering him with the choicest blessings one can offer. The blissful smile on Kumar Kartikeya's face reflected his joy, reflected every ounce of love he was experiencing. All the Devtas who watched on while the parents showered their love considered themselves fortunate to be witnessing this sight. Now amongst all these Devtas stood the creator of the Leelas of the world, the one who with his Maya could attract even the great Mahadev, the Devta who holds the Sudarshan Chakra, the protector of this universe. Lord Vishnu too stood as an audience to this blissful and loving exchange between proud loving parents and their son. Knowing the future fully well and keeping the well-being of the people in mind, Sri Hari Vishnu created yet another Leela. He thought to himself that he too would someday want the privilege of being the son of Mahadev Shiv, sit and play in his lap and experience his loving care. He wished that he could someday enjoy the affection, the love, and the warmth with Devi Parvati as his mother. But he kept all these thoughts to himself. He didn't utter a word. He knew that Devi Parvati resides as a mother in all creatures, hears their prayers, their thoughts. So just as planned, Mata Parvati heard what Sri Hari Vishnu silently wished for. So she said, Tathastu, you will soon be born as my son. Now friends, at this point, I'm sure all of you are wondering, was Sri Hari Vishnu ever born as Devi Parvati's son? Isn't it? Well, you know what happens next, right? No? Then let me tell you. Now, after some time passed, Mahadev, along with a few of his Gans, had gone somewhere. At this point, as per Sri Hari Vishnu's divine Leela, and as per the wish of Mata Parvati, Devi Parvati thought of applying a lep, a coat of haldi, on her body. Now notice the beauty of Sri Hari Vishnu's Leela. The one who in the form of Durga protects the entire world, this entire universe. The one who slays, who destroys all evil as Kali. At this point, as Parvati thought of the security of her own bhavan, her own house, while simultaneously remembering Sri Hari Vishnu's wish, Mata Parvati at once began to remove the layer, the coat of haldi from her body, using it to give form and shape to a divine child. At that very moment, Sri Hari Vishnu too emitted an energy, a light that combined itself with the Haridra, the haldi that was giving form to a child, thereby infusing it with life. The one who gave birth to the very creator of this universe, to Brahmadev, that Vasudev, Sri Hari Vishnu's Haridra avatar, the one born from the powerful Adya Shakti, Devi Parvati's energy, this divine child was then named by Jagdamba. This child was now called Ganesh.
Pranamyam Shirsha Devam Gauri Putram Vinayakam Bhaktavasam Smare Nityam.
The one who is the Swami, the Lord of all beings, Rishis, Munis, all creatures alike, the one who is their Ish, Ganesh. Now friends, the remaining story is even more enthralling. We know that when Mahadev Shiv returned to see a little divine child, Bal Ganesh, standing in front of his house, forbidding him from entering the house, Mahadev Shiv, in his rage, his temper, beheaded this little child. Only later, fearing Mata Parvati's wrath, he tried to fix his actions. And to do so, he fit the head of an elephant onto this child's body, thereby once again infusing it with life. Having fixed his wrongdoing, Mahadev Shiv then said to Shri Ganesh, Janardhan, hey Ganesh, hey Narayan, the erroneous action that I have just committed is no doubt unforgivable. However, this too is a part of your divine Leela. Yet, a mistake is a mistake, and I will most definitely pay the price of this mistake. Hence, dear Ganesh, during the Dwapar Yuga, when you will be born as Shri Krishna, at that point, because of a promise I would have made to my devotee, you and I will face each other in a battle. At that point, dear Ganesh, as Shri Krishna, you with all your powers, all your Shakti, will defeat me. Saying this, Mahadev Shiv bowed down before his own son, Shri Ganesh. Thereafter, several Devtas too showered Shri Ganesh with their choicest blessings and bowed down before him. At this point, Brahmadev said, O Ganesh, you are Narayan. You are the energy, the Tej of Sri Hari Vishnu. Hence, from this day on, you will be the first to be prayed to. Friends, Ganesh is Sanatan, meaning he has always existed in this universe, existed in different forms as per his own Leela, as Haridra Ganesh, as Lambodara, at times even as Vinayak.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru Me Deva.
He has the Tej, the energy of Mahadev, the Shakti, the power of Jagdamba. He is Vishnu, and he alone is Shri Krishna too. As per the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, it is said, Ganesh Rupaha Shri Krishnaha Kalpe Kalpe Tvatmajaha, meaning, O Devi Parvati, in the form of Ganesh, Shri Krishna himself exists in every kalp from time to time. He will be reborn time and time again as your son.
शेंदुर लाल चढ़ायो अच्छा गजमुख को, धोंदिल लाल बिराजे सुत गौरी हर को, हाथ लिए गुड़ लड्डू साई सुरवर को, महिमा कही न जाए लागत हूँ पद को, जय देव जय देव.
The Gananayak, the Ganadhish, the Vinayak about whom the Vedas write, Kalau Chandi Vinayakau, meaning during the Kalyug, Chandi and Ganesh are the ones who will respond swiftly to prayers. To that Sarveshwar, to the form of the divine Om, to that Narayan, to Vighnaharta, Ganpati, I pray that you rid us of all our troubles and bless us with good fortune. Before that Lambodara, before the great Shri Ganesh, I, Aditi, humbly bow my head. With a lot of joy and pride, we are happy to share artwork volunteered by some of our Adisi listeners. A big shout out to all you lovely artists for sending in such beautiful entries, inspired by the theme Ganesh. Friends, if you've enjoyed this story and if you'd like to hear more such stories, then do subscribe to this channel. And oops, almost forgot. Don't forget to hit that bell icon.
Adisi, where stories begin.